Hey, Yuli here, and I'm right now in Dublin, Ireland. I just attended a two-day conference called SaaS Talk 2016, and I want to share in this video my top takeaways and top lessons, which I personally take from this event. So this was the biggest SaaS event in Europe. I'll take one step back. SaaS is software as a service. So it was a SaaS conference. You had the biggest SaaS companies, including founders and different people inside the companies, and lots of great people, lots of great content. And I just finished journaling here actually, and I wrote down my top lessons, and I want to share a review, and hopefully you can use it to your own life and use and apply it also for any conference you go to as well. So number one, something I've noticed is it's very important to surround yourself with people that are doing much better than you. And in this conference, I actually spoke to lots of people who are running $10 million companies, $20 million companies, $40 million companies, people who have 40, 50, 100 employees in their companies, VC, capital firms who are looking to invest in companies. Overall, lots of successful people who are doing much better than what I'm doing right now. And the benefit of actually surrounding yourself such people and talking to them is it disturbs you. Personally, it really disturbed me to be around them, and in a good way. And what I mean by this is now I want to do better, because I just spoke to plenty of people who 10 million a year, it's like a small amount for them, and it puts things in perspective, and it disturbs me. Now I want to do better. I want to create more companies or just scale my companies and to be much bigger, because I see what's out there, I see what other founders are doing, and I see what is possible today. Now, if I'll go and actually hang out with people who are doing much worse than me and I'll be the best, I'll not be disturbed. I'll feel good, like, hey, I'm doing the best. Maybe I'll go and I can brag about it, but it will not make me grow. And if you want to go and grow and actually get more income, scale a company, you want to surround yourself with people who are doing much better than you. You want to disturb yourself, and this is very good. And whatever it is, whether it's health, whatever other aspect, you want to do it. So top lesson number two, which I'm taking from the event, is I noticed something from networking and talking to lots of people, that actually the most successful people are much more easier to talk to and to reach than actually people who are less successful than them. So sometimes people see someone talking, a speaker in a conference, and they're getting this godlike status, and they think they can even talk to him or can even come to him, and actually it's completely the opposite. And I talked to a few speakers in the event, and I talked to a few people who are doing 10, 20 million in yearly revenue in their companies, and I found them to be much more nicer, much more accessible, much more willing to give helpful tips and actually talk to me, as opposed to people who, I don't know, just founded their company and they're on the second 3 month on their journey. Really, so key lesson is really don't be afraid to approach successful people. Successful people are much more approachable than you think, and actually I think the more successful someone, he's more willing to talk to you and be nice, actually give helpful tips, because when you're successful you want to pass it onwards, really. So I think that's a great key lesson. So the third one, it's networking. You want to network a lot and actually build your network. And networking is everything. The people you know is much more valuable than the money you have. I really believe it. And in these last 2 days, I networked with lots of people. I created lots of relationships. People who I can, if needed, I can send a message, ask a question, shoot an email, and they can do the same to me. And I can help them, and they can help me. And it's really crucial, because sometimes you can just find the answer, and someone who already went through something, they can save you months and sometimes years of your life. Plus they can introduce you to other people. Maybe I need to talk to someone and I tell them, hey, I'm looking for A, B, or C, and they can just connect me to someone. So increasing your network and networking, I think, is really crucial. And not just this, but in general in conferences, I believe that networking is much more important than actual content. The content is great. I listened to lots of great talks and I learned a lot, but actual networking and the people I meet is the biggest value in conferences. That's personally what I find for myself, and for also past conferences which I've been for many years, because most of the time, not always, but content can be found in blogs, in podcasts, in other places, but people actually talking face to face. And when you talk face to face, different founders, different people who are doing well, they'll give you these small tips who usually will not give you even elsewhere. So talking face to face to people is really, really crucial. And also the nice thing about conferences is you're learning about a subject all day long. So I know myself, I listen to some relevant podcasts as well, and I can listen maybe half an hour a day, maybe 2 hours if I'm like really listening a lot in that particular day. But actually here, from morning to night, you're like immersing yourself with one subject, taking lots of notes, and I believe it's really, really helpful, this type of immersion, including the networking with people. So another key lesson is spend time with people when you network with them. Sometimes you can talk to someone who for 5 minutes, you think he's like, I don't know, maybe he's not much there, I'm not sure he's a great person to talk to. But I find that if you actually spend time, and maybe after 5-10 minutes, all of a sudden, only because you've spoken for a few minutes, actually see how we can help each other, maybe introduce someone, or maybe do business together in some way, create some kind of relationship. So if you're talking to someone after 30 seconds, don't leave right away, and also don't be a jackass. I know some people do it. You took to someone 10 seconds, it doesn't look a fit, they don't barely say, okay, I need to go somewhere by, or don't be a jackass when you're talking to people in conferences. If you find someone on the fit, talk to him a few minutes, and I think you can nicely say, hey, I want to grab a drink, I need to go to the toilet, I need to meet someone else. That's completely okay. But don't be a jackass. I know I personally don't like when people do it to me. And also I think spend at least 5-10 minutes speaking to someone, because you can't know what will come out of it. Maybe he'll introduce you to someone or something else. Another key takeaway, there are actually many ways to get success. So even now, like, there are many talks from different founders, and each one had their own perspective. Someone got to 12 million a year without having salespeople at all, just through marketing. Another person says, no, you need to hire a salesperson from day number one to help and grow a company. So I see it in many other ways in general. Success, there is not only one way to succeed. There are many ways to succeed. There's usually a few key ways you can do to get to failure, but to get success, there are many ways to do it, and there are many ways to succeed. So there's no right or wrong. That's the key lesson which I'm taking here. So look what suits you, look what's right, and if one way specifically is not right for you, you don't have to do it. Again, there are many, many ways to succeed. Another lesson I learned, another nice trick, is raising your price. In a SaaS model, it's a basically monthly subscription model. So a nice trick which I learned, which can be applied for SaaS businesses, and not only, if someone is a client of yours for many years, and you're actually working behind the scenes on improving the product, you're actually spending lots of value, you have a team, you pay a payroll, and you're adding new features, and you're adding lots of things. So a nice trick you can do is actually, after really you added lots of value to them and you add lots of features, you can just even just raise the price by $1 or 10% or 5%. And you actually write an email explaining to customers why you're doing this. So let's say you have 3,000 customers and you raise the price in $1 or $2, I don't know. And you tell them, hey guys, we're raising the price by $2. We have lots of expenses. We've just added feature A, B, C, and you explain to them why you're doing it. Don't just do it. And all users will not complain at all. And if you have 3,000 users and you just raise the price by $2 for all 3,000, you just increased your revenue in $6,000 for a month, which in a year will be, in a quick math, let's say $74,000 additional in a year from this quote-unquote trick. But it's something you need to use only if you're really bringing the value to people. And another lesson for me personally is not to stay in hotels. I personally hate hotels. Just stayed in a hotel and I didn't have a fridge. I couldn't really make anything like put food or prepare breakfast. So I found Airbnbs to be much more efficient. If you're coming to events, you can have your own breakfast. You can take care of yourself, work out, and make sure you have healthy food, and you're healthy. And then when you're healthy and you have more energy, you can better network, you can get the information much better for the whole conference, whatever it is you're going. Another great lesson I got from speaking to lots of founders and successful people is it's all about the people. The people in your team, meaning if you're having a business or company with someone, your founder, it's so crucial to have the right founder. If you're hiring people inside your team, you want to have the best people possible. You want to hire and work only with A players, because if someone is not good, he'll bring everyone down and the company will not grow. It's crucially important to work with the best people possible. Whatever position it is, whether it's your founder, whether it's support, development, sales, marketing, doesn't matter. You want the best people. And the team and the people you have in your company is very responsible for growing it, very responsible for growing your income. Whether you're doing online business, whether you have a small business and you have any kind of hire, even 1-2 people in your team, you want those 1-2 people to be fucking amazing, really. You don't want to work with bad people. It's not worth it to do so. Hire slowly and fire fast. I find it very true because I have 17 employees right now, and from firing some bad ones and hiring good ones, I saw in my companies how things are scaling and my life has just improved dramatically, and my quality of my life improved as well. Another key takeaway I'm taking here is something I'm not doing myself is you need to talk to customers. Whatever business you have, whatever product you're selling, whatever company, it's very important to be face-to-face and talking to customers, because today in 2016 the world is changing so fast, really so fast, that everything that's relevant right now may not be relevant in 2 years, who knows. And lots of founders recommend, lots of CEOs of big companies, to talk to customers as a founder, as a CEO, and also to actually make your developers talk to customers and get their feedback, understand the market more. I know I don't do it sometimes as well because I find it maybe time wasting. I want to do other things when I'm working on my business, but I know something personally to change. I actually fully agree and understand, because take the time, appropriate time, doesn't have to be too much, but be in front of customers and make your employees be in front of customers as well, because you'll understand them much better and then you'll be able to serve their needs much better, and your team will be able to serve their needs much better. Last takeaway and last lesson is you want to spend time and money in yourself. Investing in yourself will bring you the biggest dividends possible as opposed to anything else. I know many people can forget it sometimes, and I spent around $1,200 for a 2-day conference. So it's not the cheapest conference there is, but it's important to invest in myself. I know from past conferences I've been, investing in yourself, I really believe, will bring you the biggest dividends possible. I know for me, it brought me the biggest dividends from the previous events and conferences I've gone in the last 6 years myself. That's many times where you get to know people. Actually, many people who are my really good close friends I met in conferences, and lessons learned from conferences. And investing in yourself doesn't have to be a conference. It can be a coach, it can be books, some kind of training, but don't just spend money on your business. Invest in yourself, because as I said before, your team is one of the most important things, and investors are looking to invest in people. They're investing in teams, in people. So if you are the best version of yourself, if you're investing in yourself, whatever company it is, whatever business you're doing, you'll do better and you'll be able to grow better, and you'll hustle and you'll do whatever is needed to succeed. So I hope you enjoyed. Those were my lessons and takeaways from SaaStock 2016. Signing off from beautiful Dublin, Ireland, and a beautiful day. I'm in Phoenix Park right now here, a beautiful park. I'm spending some time in Dublin before my next destination in London. So take care, all the best, and see you next video.